That vehicle is at our cost. We have attached a driver. We are going to pay him ourselves, fuel the vehicle, maintain it, and also pay the security personnel who will be guarding you. You don't have to pay them anything. After that activity, you are free to go to the media tent and address the media and the country so that they know candidate Munyagwa Barak Serunga is also on the stage. May I now invite members of the commission and yourself, we go and hand over your security vehicle. Thank you very much.
So the commission is going to lead you to your detail protocol.
Well, Mubarak Munyagwa of the Commons Man's Party has also been duly nominated by the Electoral Commission. As we talk right now, what is going on right now, he is being handed over the security detail that is going to always escort him wherever he goes, even when the official campaign starts on the 29th of this very month. It will be that security detail that will actually be accompanying him wherever he goes within Uganda. It has been stated clearly that the Electoral Commission will be in charge of everything concerning the security detail, from transporting the candidate but also giving him security at home, paying his salary, paying their salaries, but also when it comes to feeding. So what he has to do as an individual is to ensure that he gives them direction on wherever he wants to go and on whatever he wants to do. Apparently right now he's going to be addressing the media, so we shall be understanding from him part of the things that he thinks he will be doing during this term, that is if he's actually voted into office. So anytime from now we shall be handing over to him. He has actually moved with the symbol of Orsania, just as a symbol that probably it is everyone's time to actually enjoy, but also have what they have to have in that capacity. So for now, we are hearing from candidate Mubarak Munyagwa. Let's get to hear on what he's going to tell us right about now.
Oh, microphone, please. Microphone. Can this one reach?
Countrymen, particularly the common man down there. To be here today. Being here was not an easy journey. It was a journey full of hurdles. The process was quite stringent, but we endeavored with the help of our grassroots common people to sail through. I want to take this singular moment now to thank the Electoral Commission for exuding those levels of professionalism. At certain point we thought that we are going to
So another aspirant will be on the way, will be coming before the commission shortly. So keep in your seats, and the commission will advise.
We are made to understand this aspirant entered these grounds before 4 p.m. just before 4 p.m. and the official period for closure of nominations is 4. However, under the law, if a person who is taking part in the electoral process reports to the nomination venue or polling station before that time, the time finds him at that venue, he or she is entitled to be handled accordingly. The only difference is if the person arrives after 4 p.m. But since he arrived before 4 p.m., we shall proceed to handle his nomination process. Thank you.
Commission requests the protocol team to bring in the aspirant who has been waiting in the holding tent here in these premises. So the next aspirant is coming in. The next aspirant has walked in and is aspirant Frank Bulira from the Revolutionary People's Party. Mr. Bulira, you're welcome. With his delegation. Come with his delegation. Protocol, please let them sit. Thank you. And Lord Chair, I hand over to you. Lord Chair.
Thank you. Our guests, you're welcome. The aspirant together with your entourage to Lueza Electoral Commission grounds. Without much ado, may I ask you now to forward your papers through your agent. Bring your papers so that they can be subjected to verification.
To those who may be joining us at this time, and to the delegation that just walked in, what is happening is the commission has received the files, the documents of the aspirant, and the commission has now asked the technical team here to verify every element that is required under the law. And so they have submitted them here to this technical team of the Electoral Commission, from the legal department, from voter data management, from IT, from election management, to verify them. So they must confirm that the aspirant has filled the forms and in triplicate. That's what the commission guided earlier in the statements that it issued, and in the guidelines it issued when the exercise of preparation for presidential elections was flagged off on the 11th of August 2025, when those aspiring to contest for presidency began coming to the headquarters of the Electoral Commission to pick the forms. And this nomination exercise is taking place here at Rweza, Luwewa, on the grounds of the Electoral Commission. The place where the Commission is constructing its headquarters, the first of their kind in its history. And so everyone that is being nominated from here is making and becoming part of history. So these are the EC grounds in Rweza. At Rweza, Luwewa. The people that understand sign language, we have a sign language interpreter there on the screen, Hope Nyamwiza, who is ensuring that this process is as inclusive as possible, that no one is left behind when it comes to following the electoral processes. And this is a commitment that the Commission has made, among other things, to ensure inclusivity, to ensure that no one is left behind. In fact, as part of the roadmap to the 2024-26 general election, the Commission undertook a comprehensive mapping of persons with disabilities across the country, mapping them to polling stations, and it was the first such major audit and undertaking to make sure that the Commission gets to know who persons with disabilities are, where they are, what kind of disabilities they have, what kind of unique needs they have, to make sure that in the planning for now and for the future, those peculiarities that ensure inclusivity are taken into consideration. So the Commission, we are in advanced stages of the implementation of the roadmap that the Commission issued, released for the 2025-26 general elections, with major milestones covered, including the demarcation of electoral areas that happened at the end of last year. Demarcation of electoral areas at local government level. There was organization of polling stations. After reorganizing polling stations, you recall there was that period of the display, and there was also the update of the National Voters Register, which the Commission called upon all those that had it what it takes or it took to participate in, by ensuring that those who were new voters, who had never been registered as voters, but they are citizens, they are 18 years and above, could register as voters and be assigned polling stations. Being a voter is a choice according to the law. So a citizen chooses to be a voter by going to those centers that they went to register as voters. And during that period there was also a window for those who wished to change their polling voting locations consistent with the law and following the requirements of the law. And then there was the display of the voters' registers at polling stations across the country. And there was an opportunity after the display for any complaints that came to be addressed by what the Commission put in place, the tribunals at parish level, to consider what the voters, the public was saying about the display. Those who are reported to have died and had not died, they would come and say, no, they're saying that I died, but no, I've actually not yet died, or I'm not dying soon. So there were those tribunals at parish level which had that feedback from the display exercise. And then we've been having elections for special interest groups. Special interest groups which are provided for in the Constitution as a form of affirmative action to categories of persons that have had some form of disadvantage in the past. So older persons, those who are 60 years and above, fall under that category of special interest groups. Persons with disabilities, and the disabilities are also defined in the law. And then we have youth. Those are three major categories of special interest groups. And then later there are others like the workers that have two strands of non-unionized work and all that. So just for our information,
Our distinguished guests, we have verified the papers of the aspirant, and we are satisfied that he has complied with the requirements of the Presidential Elections Act. Accordingly, I, Justice Byabakama Simon, being the returning officer for the nomination of presidential candidates, declare Bulira Frank Kavinga a duly nominated candidate in respect of the presidential elections 2026, having fulfilled the nomination requirements under the Presidential Elections Act, Chapter 179, Laws of Uganda. You are now a presidential candidate. Congratulations. Okay, you can, either you or your agent sign here. Is that a red pen? Can go back. Candidate Bulira Frank Kavinga, as a duly nominated candidate, you'll be required to perform or do the following. 1, you have to appoint an official agent who will coordinate your campaign meetings and media program, and also attend meetings on your behalf where necessary. Secondly, you are to avail the Commission with the schedule of your campaign meetings and media program as soon as practicable to facilitate the smooth harmonization of all the candidates' campaign programs countrywide. Thirdly, you are to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Electoral Commission on compliance with the harmonized campaign program, timelines and guidelines. Campaigns, as we mentioned earlier on, start on the 29th of this month for all presidential candidates, but that is after you have all harmonized your campaign programs before you get on the campaign trail. However, if you wish to meet your people today, your supporters, at a designated venue, you are at liberty to do that, provided you don't carry out public processions along the roads or markets or the business district or center of the city of Kampala and other areas. Now, the Electoral Commission is required to give you a copy of the National Voters Register in soft form. So I have the National Voters Register in soft form, which your agent can collect now. Secondly, under the Presidential Elections Act, the Electoral Commission is required to work with other state agencies to ensure that you are protected, you are given adequate protection or security, both on the road or wherever you are, and even at home. It's a 24-hour security network. We are going to hand over to you your security vehicle with the security personnel who will be guarding you or protecting you. That vehicle is a commission vehicle. It is being driven by a driver of the commission. We are fueling it, maintaining it, paying the driver, and paying the security. You don't have to pay anything. We are catering for all that by law. Thereafter, you are free to go to the media tent or media center, which is set up here, and address the press or the nation and tell them who you are and so on and so forth. That is at your will. But for us, what we have to do now, which is mandatory, is to give you a security vehicle and security detail. We can go and perform that function. After that, we shall come back here for further announcements or proceedings, whichever. Thank you.
Frank Bulira Kavinga has been duly nominated by the Electoral Commission, and he joins the rest of the candidates who were actually nominated earlier from yesterday up to today. As of now, the Commission has actually duly nominated about 5 candidates. Those are the 5 that actually were nominated today, and as of yesterday, actually 3 of them were nominated. So you can clearly understand that so far we have 8 duly nominated candidates from yesterday. But as I talk now, the EC chairperson, that is Justice Simon Byabakama, together with the commission, they're actually leading the candidate to hand over the security detail that will be actually giving the presidential candidate a 24-hour security until when the final results will actually be announced. Frank Bulira Kavinga, from the Revolutionary People's Party, decided to make a decisive step, of course, in the 2025 race by submitting endorsement signatures, and of course today he has been duly nominated. He is actually known for his strong stance on federalism, but of course sending a clear message to the country. His declaration signals a fresh challenge in a political landscape that is actually dominated by long-standing leadership. I do understand very many people actually may not know about this gentleman who has been duly nominated, talking about Frank Bulira Kavinga. I should say that he is a veteran politician with a history of advocating for decentralization and governance reforms. Over the years, he has been actively actually involved in grassroots politics, and of course earning recognition for his efforts to represent marginalized communities and push for systematic change. But of course, what we wait to hear from us as the journalists, he will be talking to us in a few, but also to understand what exactly he is going to start with, probably in his first 100 days, or when actually the official date of the 29th for the campaign actually starts. But of course, we wait to see what the Revolutionary People's Party actually has for us. But like I said, he has actually joined the many who were duly nominated from yesterday, and as of now we are not yet sure whether we have any other candidate who are rather aspirant who will be actually coming through. But of course, if there is any, we shall be guided by the Electoral Commission, because all the commissioners, together with of course the chairman, Justice Simon Byabakama, they are all still around to ensure that actually the entire process ends successfully. But as of now, Frank Kabinga Bulira, the Revolutionary People's Party, of course he is being handed over the security detail that is going to be in charge of his security. The EC chairman has oftenly stated it that once you're duly nominated, you're no longer a normal citizen, because you're now a presidential candidate, and it is a mandate of the Electoral Commission to ensure that you are safe until the last day. So they will be using the security from today until when the elections start, but also until when the final declarations will be done, that is come next year 2026. As I talk now, Mr. Bulira Kabinga, he's actually moving to the podium, and he will be addressing journalists on what he actually thinks he will be putting across, and we shall be asking him a few questions about what he will tell us and what more should actually Ugandans expect from him. So anytime from now, we shall be actually handing over to Frank Kabinga Bulira. We shall be understanding a lot more of the things that he has on plate, because he has actually to convince Ugandans on why actually they should put their trust in him to see if he can actually be the president of this nation. Right now, we do hand over to Frank Kabinga Bulira. Let us actually hear from him and get to understand what he has for the nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so delighted to be here this evening, and I'm so thankful to everyone who is here. Really, this is the day that the Lord has made.
Amen.
I'm the last candidate, but I'm sure by the beginning of 2026, I'll be the President of the Republic of Uganda. My name is Salongo Bulira Frank Kabinga. And when I was coming, you saw a heavy downpour. It had a message that Uganda is changing soon. In the next few months, we're going to have another president in Uganda. I'm the flag bearer for the Revolutionary People's Party, RPP, and the leader of Uganda Federal Democratic Organization, which was
Unlock unlimited internet with Airtel Smart Connect Home and Office Wi-Fi to keep you connected to the things you love. Get unlimited internet.
okukakasa nti ffe tugenda okuwangula obukulembeze bw'eggwanga lino Uganda.
William Ruanga from Beg Media / Beg TV. I think Your Excellency to be Mr. Bulira Frank. We are known to each other for a long time. I'm asking you, you have proposed a federal arrangement for Uganda. Which federal model are you going to use when you become president? Because there are so many federal models which can be applicable. And secondly, you are a teacher. I know you as a teacher. You are a former teacher. What is your position on education? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, my old friend, Mr. Ruanga William. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to see you again. I think we shall expound more of what you're asking about in next week when we are launching the federal agenda. I don't want to unveil what is inside. We are unveiling the federal agenda 2026 and honoring the legacy of Dr. Aggrey Kiyingi. The Frank Bulira you are seeing here, when you look at me, see Dr. Kiyingi. When you look at me, look at Nkwanga of Uganda Federal Movement. Look at Andrew Takome Kayira in me. So, we are going to expound more about that, the model, the federal model, and about our entire agenda for a new Uganda next week, and we are going to keep you posted. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My name is Grace Seginya from Sort Media. When you talk about Dr. Aggrey Kiyingi, some of us who used to know the late, he was a cardiologist, and he overemphasized the health sector. In your manifesto, I've not heard you talking about anything to do with health. Are you diverting from some of your dreams from your predecessor? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I thought here I was just giving a brief about myself, but we are having a program where we are going to unveil our entire manifesto and program. I only talked about federalism as a system of government because it entails everything. It is the solution to all the problems, health, infrastructure, etc. It entails everything. But Dr. Aggrey Kiyingi, I don't want to go far about that. You know very much that he wanted to build a heart hospital here, and the government refused him. Then he established it in South Africa. You very much know that he initiated the Health International, which introduced IT here, which distributed computers to schools, Nabegareka Foundation. You remember that time, CBS FM, Radio Simba, coming on the internet, he was Dr. Aggrey Kiyingi. Right now, we've been given 10 acres of land in Bunyolo, and we are going to construct the Aggrey Kiyingi Memorial Building. On that Aggrey Kiyingi Memorial Building, we decided to put it in Bunyolo, much as Dr. Kiyingi was a Muganda, because we are believing in a Uganda for everyone. There is one of our members in Bunyolo who donated those 10 acres. And that Aggrey Kiyingi Memorial Building is going to have a nursing home, a youth rehabilitation center, and a heart training institute.
Thank you, Candidate Frank, for speaking to us. Members of the press, that is Candidate Frank. And thank you very much, and your team. We wish you the best during the campaigns. And protocol, can you please usher the candidate and to his security so that he exits and goes on to the next program. Now, members of the press, we are going to get closing remarks from the chairperson in the main auditorium, and I request that we go in so that we hear the closing statement on the nomination exercise. Thereafter, there will be some refreshments in our tent, and we invite you to take a cup of tea before we depart. Thank you once again, Revolutionary People's Party. We wish you the best.
With the press, he has actually talked about a number of issues, but of course focusing on the system of governance, where he thinks that if we still have the same decentralization system, nothing will change. But of course, after here, they do have hopes together with these people. They will be, of course, launching the federal agenda, that is 2026. But of course, we shall keep following his trail and see how best we can actually find out out more. But of course, right now, we shall be going back to the main auditorium or the main tent where we are going to be hearing actually from the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, that is Justice Simon Byabagama. He has to give us the last brief of, that is, if we do expect any other candidates. If not today, is it possible to have any other candidate coming in through tomorrow? If not, what is next for the Electoral Commission? Because we do understand that, of course, on the 29th of this very month, that is when the campaign will be actually starting officially. So today we've had about 8 candidates, today 5, yesterday 3, putting a total to 8 candidates that have actually duly been nominated. Right now, let us hand over to the main tent, and we do hear from Justice Simon Byabagama. Over to the tent.
But those will come after the remarks of the chairperson. Just alert those the members of the press that I can see who are still. We done? No, I see some people who. Members of the press, I can see. Okay. Okay, I can see the number of them running. JB, you are still setting up your camera. I can see you. Baba TV, I see you were late and we're going to start. Biggie Talk, are you there? Lord Chair, we are now set to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Julius, Deputy Chairperson, commissioners, representatives of political parties present, all staff of the Electoral Commission, civil society groups, observers, Interreligious Council, the media, and all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Electoral Commission, I would like to extend our thanks and gratitude to you all who have come to witness this important milestone in the democratic journey of our country as we prepare for the general elections, in particular, the presidential elections for 2026. For the last 2 days, yesterday and today, the Commission opened these gates, having notified the people of Uganda, those who wished to offer themselves to lead the country in the topmost office of the President, to go and contact or consult the people of Uganda, get their support, present the names and signatures of those supporters so that they can be confirmed and invited to come and get nominated on these very grounds. And for these 2 days, we have seen those Ugandans who have offered themselves in that endeavor. We have managed to nominate 8 presidential candidates. And these are Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, a flag bearer for the National Resistance Movement; Kasivante Joseph of the National Peasants Party; Mabirizi Robert, Conservative Party; Nandala Mafabi James Nathan, Forum for Democratic Change; Mugisha Gregory Muntu Oyera, Alliance for National Transformation, or ANT; Kyagulanyi Sentam Robert, National Unity Platform; Munyagwa Mubarak Serunga, Common Man's Party; Bulira Frank Kabinga, Revolutionary People's Party. The nomination process has now concluded. It is therefore expected that these 8 candidates will appear on the ballot paper come January 2026. As the candidates prepare to hit the campaign trail, we urge them, together with their supporters, to observe the law, be respectful of one another, be tolerant to other people's different views, and also those whom they support. Let each one of us be at liberty to choose the candidate we support and render our support in that regard. No one should be victimized or ostracized for the choice he or she makes in that context. The candidates, please observe the law. Appeal to your supporters to respect the law and also ensure that we maintain an atmosphere or environment of peace and stability for the good of all of us. And be mindful of those people who are not part of the programs, your campaign programs, and so on and so forth. And therefore, let us not carry out any campaign activities along public roads, in the markets, near health centers, or near schools, any public place where other citizens of this land have a right to do whatever they are required to do in those places. In that regard, we shall have a very peaceful, tranquil process of campaigns. We want to ensure that we rise up together and say no to violence. Let us say no to violence. Let us all ensure that in whatever we do, whatever we say, and whatever we embark upon as we go to campaign, let us not disrupt the peace that is prevailing in the country, because peace is the cornerstone of all that we are set to do or that we want to do as a country. We want to thank the members of the security forces who have ensured that security in this place is intact, if I may use the word. That whatever equipment we have erected here is secure, and also the lives of the people who have come here have not had any major challenge or problem. As a Commission, we reiterate our commitment to ensure that the rights of the people of Uganda, as enshrined in Article 1 of the Constitution, that all power belongs to the people of Uganda, and that they shall exercise this right by choosing leaders of their own free will through the conduct of free and fair elections. We want to assure the people that we shall uphold that tenet and ensure that these elections are free and fair. However, we want everybody to recognize that a free and fair election can only be achieved or attained when every stakeholder who has a role to play plays according to the rules or to the law or by the book. If we respect and determine and resolve to follow the law and be civil in whatever you do or say, then I can assure you we shall achieve what the Constitution laid out, that the elections have to be free and fair. I want to appeal to all the people of Uganda that having elections does not mean that we are in a state of the unknown. Elections are supposed to be a happy event because the people now have the power to say, yes, you are the person we want, not the other one. So let us be respectful of what the people's choice is and ensure that Uganda, our beloved country, moves forward in the socio-economic transformation processes and whatever we undertake as a people and as a nation. So with these very few words, I wish all the candidates well, I wish all the people of Uganda well, and I pray that by January 2026, we shall have gone through an election and a campaign period that maybe we have not seen for a long time, without violence, without bloodshed, without destruction of property. I thank you, and I want to declare this nomination process closed. For God and my country, I saw this.
May we all arise to sing the anthems in reverse order: East African anthem and Uganda national anthem. Thank you very much. There is tea, evening tea. Please do not leave it for the commission alone. Our guests, you are welcome to that tea. And Lord Chair, there is a request of the members of the National